Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ganandana Shalokaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Tina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhana Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So reading from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 12, entitled Devotional Service, verse number 11. Please repeat. Athaitad apya shaktosi katum madhyogam-ashritaha sarva karma phalam tyagam tata kuru yatatmavan. Atha, even though, etad, this, api, also, ashaktaha, unable, asi, you are, kartum, to perform, mat, unto me, yogam, in devotional service, ashritaha, taking refuge, sarva karma, of all activities, phala, of the results, jagam, renunciation, tataha, then, kuru, do, yata atmavan, self-situated. Translation Srila Prabhupada. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated. Please repeat. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated. Before Srila Prabhupada. It may be that one is unable even to sympathize with the activities of Krishna consciousness because of social, familial, or religious considerations, or because of some other impediments. If one attaches himself directly to the activities of Krishna consciousness, there may be objections from family members or so many other difficulties. For one who has such a problem, it is advised that he sacrifice the accumulated results of his activities to some good cause. Such procedures are described in the Vedic rules. There are many descriptions of sacrifices and special functions of punya or special work in which the result of one's previous action may be applied. Thus one may gradually become elevated to the state of knowledge. It is also found that when one who is not even interested in the activities of Krishna consciousness gives charity to some hospital or other social institution, he gives up the hard-earned results of his activities. That is also recommended here, because by the practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually. And in that purified stage of mind, one becomes able to understand Krishna consciousness. Of course, Krishna consciousness is not dependent on any other experience, because Krishna consciousness itself can purify one's mind. But if there are impediments to accepting Krishna consciousness, one may try to give up the results of his actions. In that respect, social service, community service, national service, sacrifice for one's country, etc., may be accepted, so that someday one may come to the stage of pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad-Gita 18:46, we find it stated, Yataha pravitte bhutanam. If one decides to sacrifice for the supreme cause, even if he does not know that the supreme cause is Krishna, he will come gradually to understand that Krishna is the supreme cause by the sacrificial method. Makam karochi vachalam angam laite girim yad kripa tamaham bande Sri Guru Vinatarinam. Ataha tad api ashakto si kartum mad yogam ashritaha. Sarva karma phalam tyagam tata kuru yathatmavan. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated. Yes. So, after Krishna, this is the last chapter, of course, in the middle six. The middle six, as we've discussed before, they discuss directly bhakti-yoga. The first 6 chapters, karma yoga, with the accent on bhakti, and then Gyan is in the last 6 chapters, with the accent, of course, on bhakti. So here, this chapter, devotional service, he's instructing us through Arjuna of the different levels. So he's relating this to Arjuna, but it of course is relevant to everyone in the world, because not everyone can act on the platform of pure devotion. At the beginning of the chapter, the question was from Arjuna, if you remember, which is better, those that worship the personal form or those that worship the impersonal? So that's been decided. Krishna said, yes, you can worship either, but if you worship the impersonal form, the Brahmajyoti, the light, there's many societies that talk about light, but they've lost their way. They think that they are the light, but Krishna is the supreme light. And if you worship the personal form, then very quickly. Why? Because that is most pleasing, right? If you want to please somebody, you please the person, not his paraphernalia. Right? So in one sense, the Brahman, it is Krishna, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan, it is Krishna, no doubt. But it is not the esoteric, it is not the essence of Krishna. The highest, what is that? Parataram Nanyad. There's nothing beyond me, my personal form. That doesn't mean to say voidism is beyond me. It means there's nothing beyond me. I am the apex, I am the zenith. So, If we worship the personal form, then we're going directly to the source. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam prabhate. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Iti matva bhajanti mam buddha bhava samanvita. Those that know this, they engage in my devotional service. Janati purushottam sasavavid bhajati mam savabhavena bharata. And because if you link yourself with Krishna, the apex of all realization of transcendence, then you're going to the ultimate and the most potent source. And you're pleasing Krishna, the person, directly. And so he will take you as his own. There's a story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Lord Nityananda, he was wandering in the forest in South India, I believe, and he came upon the Buddhists, some Buddhists in the forest. Do you know the story? And they were meditating on the void. So Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Avadut, he charged at the Buddhists and wanted to kick them. Why? Because he's an ecstatic devotee of the Supreme Lord. And who are these fools? Worshipping the void, saying that the absolute truth is non-existent. So those Buddhists ran away. Actually, if they had been kicked on the head by Lord Nityananda, that would have been the best day of their lives. So, if we come to discussion, there is only three forms that you can postulate as the absolute truth. One is void, that it is some kind of empty state, opposite to all the variety, non-existence. That is patently absurd, because by definition nothing doesn't exist. If you look in the dictionary, you'll find that nothing is defined as the absence of everything. So if everything is absent, then what is there to worship? There is only a conception of the void. But as soon as you conceptualize the void, you're turning the nothing into something. If you think the void is some dark space, that's something. That means space. And that means you're admitting that, well, light and darkness, if there's darkness, a dark void, then where is the light? Right? So it is a ridiculous idea, the void. So you should avoid the void in your meditation. And that's very easy because it doesn't exist at all. So you'll never be able to get in touch with it by definition. Second definition is some kind of impersonal energy. Right? This is very attractive. There are sincere Mahatmas that have that conception that the absolute truth is light. And it is also interesting to the demoniac, because they, in their corrupted ideas, they think that by austerity, by practice of different yogas and even sacrifices, they can garner this energy for themselves and become as gods. So, as we know, that if you meditate in a pure form, you can go to the Brahmajyoti, you can go to the Brahman effulgence of the body of Krishna. But it is boring. Because you're just in a light. Now if you come in this room and there's nothing to see but it's bright light, what will you think? And also, the demons, when they're killed, they go to the same destination, the Brahman Brahmajyoti. But that is the mercy of Krishna, they become purified. So, that is not at all recommended by Krishna. Krishna gives ground. He says, yes, if you have to, you can worship this. That will also purify you. So that's 1 and 2, void. The Acharyas, Vaishnava Acharyas, have not bothered discussing voidism very much because it's patently ridiculous to say that everything has come from nothing. But we know, of course, that that is very popular with the material scientists, right? There was nothing, and then it exploded. Well, if it's nothing, then how can it explode? What is there to explode? If it's nothing, where can it explode? And where can it explode from? So that is like these man-made concocted scriptures, man-made ideas of the absolute truth, that it is following actually different tribal literatures where they say there was the word or there was logos and then there was everything. It is a step along that idea. From everything, from nothing, everything came. So, but the Brahman idea is nirvisesh nirguna. But that is covered voidism. Nirvisesh means without variety, nirguna means without qualities. But if you call it light, that's a quality, is it not? But actually what nirvisesh in the Vedas refers to and nirguna refers to is that the Supreme Lord has no material variety. He has no material guna. But he is full of spiritual variety and full of spiritual guna, and therefrom all the variety and the qualities that we see self-evidently in our life are an expression from that source. So what to do? If people want to refuse the form of the Lord, then they can worship the Brahman, and that will purify them if they have the right conception. However, if they think that I am going to become God, and this is another perversion, by merging into the Brahman, that is a foolishness. No, you are a drop of water going into the ocean. You're not merging actually. In a drop of water, there are atoms and molecules, and those atoms and molecules still exist when you go into the ocean. Also, Rupa Goswami individually exists, and then Rupa Goswami he gives an example in the Nectar of Devotion. He explains that this merging idea and becoming one, this is false idea. He said it is like a green parrot goes into a big green tree. So it looks like he's merged. No, but he still maintained his individual existence. It's just your vision, you can't distinguish the parrot from the tree. So all this voidism and impersonalism and merging and all this, they're all logically inconsistent. Plus, they are not supported in the Shastra. When Lord Chaitanya spoke to Prakasananda Saraswati, you can look it up in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this was all discussed. Lord Chaitanya went to the meeting of the Mayavadis, I think in Benares, was it? Yeah, Benares. And he sat in the corner where people washed their feet before sitting in the main assembly area. This was a display of humility. And there, to Prakashananda, who was the leader of the Mayavadis, because that's how they, Mayavadi means one who sees Maya, Vadi, illusion. They say this illusion is, this variety is illusion. Well, you can call it an illusion or this and that, but I still have to deal with it. It's not an illusion when you get a toothache. If everything is one, then instead of putting sugar in your tea, put in another white substance, salt, and then you'll see if it's all one. If you have a chai shop in the street and you just give salt to to the people having their morning cup of tea. How long will your chai shop be aware? So this is all just word jugglery. So Lord Shankaracharya, who's Lord Shiva, Bhaja Govindam Mudamate Nahi Rakshati Dukrin Karine. Worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda 3 times for emphasis. Your grammatical knowledge and word jugglery will not save you at the time of death. So if you want liberation, what is that? It's defined in the Bhagavatam. Muktir hitavan yata rupena swarupena avashtati. That what is liberation? Liberation is to be situated in your eternal relationship, your swarup, towards Krishna. So that is not impersonal relationship. And we know, what is that? Om Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. Lord Brahma has this opinion. Asita Devula Vyas is quoted by, and then throughout the Vedic literature, glorification of Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if you say to a 5-year-old child, a 5-year-old child may come to you and say, what is this world? What has happened? Where does it come from? And you say to that child, oh, God is in heaven, in the transcendental world. He's the source of this. He has endless power. Then the child will say, oh, God. He will immediately understand. Why? Because we are Atma. We are part and parcel, Angsa of Krishna. So we understand. We intuitively understand spiritual knowledge. But then if you say to the 5-year-old child, actually this world is all Maya, it doesn't really exist, my dear son, and you and I are God, then what will the 5-year-old child think? Well, then I don't have to go to school, because I'm God and you're God, so why should I listen to you? Right? And if everyone's God, that means nobody's God. Just like if everyone is the Prime Minister of India, there's no Prime Minister. If you say, I'm Narendra Modi, I'm Narendra Modi, I'm Narendra Modi, then we have a room of fools, madmen. So you're thinking, yes, oh, I'm God. Okay, sit over there. The doctor's coming soon. Please sit next to Napoleon Bonaparte. And Karl Marx is sitting there. And there's another man that thinks he's Jesus Christ. The doctor will come soon and give you some Valium. But unfortunately in India, if somebody declares, I'm God, they, instead of giving him some Valium or some decongestant, mental, they give him a donation. But at least when I was younger in the West, if you thought you were God, they would take you to the psychiatric hospital. I think that's the difference. No, it's not all illusion. Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. No. It is factual, but it is a secondary lower nature, the material nature. So anyway, so remember that. There's only 3 definitions you can actually make, generically. Voidism, impersonalism, or personalism. So Krishna is establishing the absolute truth is a person. And the best thing is if you have a person to please his heart. Krishna in the Gita, at the end of the Bhagavatam, he says, Hridayam, I must learn that sloka. The saints are my heart. And only I am in the heart of the saints. I know one but them, and they know nobody but me. That is a love affair, is it not? That is love. Love makes focus. So when we actually awaken Krishna Prem, we focus on the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord's devotees, with exclusion. We have no distraction from Maya. That is Paramahansa state. So how to get there? That's the subject of these verses. So we'll review them. Yes. Well, we start from 6 and 7, because this is the tail end of that discussion, which is higher, the impersonal or the personal. But those who worship me, you see, that means those who don't worship the impersonal aspect, the Brahman, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me. You see this me. We're up to the fourth me. Having fixed their minds upon me. Number 5. O son of Pritha, for them I am, you can say that's number 6, the swift deliverer from the ocean, the ocean of birth and death. Swift deliverer. Now if you consider, in transcendence I have a supreme friend. That's very wonderful, is it not? But if you actually go deep into impersonalism, what you'll find is a tremendous loneliness. You don't have any friend. It's all impersonal energy and illusion grinding at you. You have no one to turn to but yourself. Really, because everything is illusion. But here is personal. And that can be understood, like I say, by a 5-year-old child. Oh, God He has superpower and He created this. Just like my mother, if I may say. I come from a large family, so below me, I'm the second eldest, like Krishna. Balaram is the elder. So after me there was children being born every 2.5, 3 years. So one day I was 8, and I went to my mother and I said, Mother, where do babies come from? Every 2, 3, I didn't say this, every 2, 3 years there's a new baby, right? So my mother, she looked at me and she said, oh, when you're married, God knows you want babies and He sends them. So I was about 8 years old. Well, what about the babies that go to people that aren't married? She said, oh, don't worry about that. That's a special case. Has God made a mistake? He sent a baby to an unmarried mother. Oh, don't worry. God sometimes He makes trouble for Himself. Something like that. Anyway, so there's a personal creator supervising everything, and that's wonderful. And it satisfies the heart of a child. Of course, I found out later the details. Anyway, so here we have Krishna saying, I'm the swift deliverer. I'm the friend. You're drowning in the ocean. Do you want an impersonal light to come for you? Or do you want a lifeboat with people and lifeboats and life rafts and everything? So of course, it is ridiculous. But it is a pollution of Kali Yuga. Many reasons you can read in Jaiva Dharma. So, now, Krishna says, and here's the Paramahansa solution, number 8. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's a me. That would call that number 7 or 8. And engage all your intelligence in me. That means try to understand me. Janma kama tame divyam evam yo varitattvataha. Takva deham punar janma naitimam metis arjuna. When you've understood Krishna, His birth and transcendental activities, His birth is not like my mother said. He's coming by His own sweet will. He's not sent by anyone. Then you'll never take birth in this world. So you can find in Ishupanishad, Sambhutim Vinasham Cha. Vedavyas is writing there. He's saying that if you want to transcend the material ocean, then you should understand how the material energy works. That will give you liberation. Just that knowledge. Take it from Guru. And then you should inquire, fix the mind on transcendence. You should be reading the Bhagavatam. That is the revelation, the Gita of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then, if you want the esoteric activities, Krishna, Parama, position of Srimati Radharani, the Gopis, Goloka, Leela, then read the Chaitanya Charitamrita under the direction of an accomplished teacher, Guru. And then your mind will run to that because it's very interesting. It satisfies the soul. Oh, this Supreme Lord, He's so wonderful. He's having Leela, He's having friends, doing this, He has this. The variety of the spiritual world is explained in the Bhagavatam that the spiritual creation is like unlimited sky. We can't understand unlimited because our mind is conditioned by the material conceptions. But those liberated souls can understand unlimited because they enter directly and personally the unlimited situation of Vaikuntha. So, you understand transcendence, the unlimited transcendence and the Leela within it, and then you'll go there. It will attract your mind. Just like you can follow the cricket scores or mundane politics, but it gives you a headache, doesn't it? Well, maybe if the cricket team is winning, maybe not. But it's not unlimitedly. I don't know how India's doing, so we won't bring that up. So, if you inquire into any mundane thing, my elder brother, if I may mention, he used to study philosophy at university. He was quite intelligent. Yes, okay. Quite intelligent. Sibling rivalry. So he used to give me some of his books, Nietzsche and all the Western philosophers. But it's all boring, man. You read it for an hour and you get a headache. Maybe this, maybe that. Oh, if we do this, when we get that. No, maybe we won't get that. We could get this, but I think this. No, but tomorrow I may think another thing. Put on the cricket scores. This is too much. So like that. So he used to read them and write essays for the university, but I used to think better to play billiards and play soccer in the street with my other brothers. So anyway, so this is the whole material Western so-called philosophy. It is just conjecture. It is called what in the Vedic paradigm is called Muni. Muni comes up with his own idea, and then another Muni comes up with his idea, and he has to defeat the first idea to establish his idea, and then another guy comes along and defeats this guy, and it goes on and on and on, like a circle that's infinite. You just keep going in the wrong direction and getting nowhere. So, Western philosophy, Western conjecture, Western social systems, man-made religious ideas, conjecture, that is useless, practically speaking. There is something there. It directs you that there is a supreme person. But in the Vedas, there's the full revelation. So the Ishopanishad, it explains there, you should understand how the material world works, and you should understand the activities of the spiritual world, and then you will be able to easily go to the spiritual world. It's the matter of love. You will awaken your natural love for the Supreme Lord. So, how to do it? Fix, like we say here, fix all your intelligence in me. Right? That means try to figure me out. The Acharyas, the Shastra, the Guru, they're all giving description of Krishna. But don't accept it blindly. Dadami bhakti-yogam tam. The stage of sadhana, bhakti means buddhi-yoga. Buddhi means intelligence. It means to discriminate between matter and spirit, and to go the spiritual side. Right in the Upanishads is explained, there is pranamoy. That means a level of consciousness. That is like a child. He'll put everything in the mouth. Anamoy is the beginning. You think, where's food? Then he grows up a bit. He falls down when he's trying to learn to walk. And pranamoy means this body can die. There's such a thing as danger. When a child is in anamoy, then you can put him in front of the lion and he'll go goo, 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 goo. Right? But the lion won't go goo, goo, goo. That's anamoy. You just want food. You think, oh, what a nice cuddly lion. I've seen it on television, Walt Disney, something like that. So pranamoy is life symptoms. You start to realize, hey, I can die. And then above that is manamoy. This is like a young man lying on his back, looking at the stars in the sky, and he's trying to understand, what is this? What is this? Is it unlimited? What is beyond the stars? Manamoy, he's on the mental plane, right? When the brain starts to work, little philosophical ideas naturally come up. And then Vijnanamoy means, and this is what you need guru for this. Vijnanamoy means to distinguish between matter and spirit. So then Guru will say, you're the soul in the body. The body is matter and the soul is spirit. And you belong to the spiritual creation, not this material creation. So that's Vijnanamoy. You're starting to separate matter from spirit. And then Anandamoy. If you go to the spiritual side, then you get bliss. Because the transcendental world is Satchidananda Vigraha, Krishna fully revealed. Right? You'll get everything there. So that's Anandamoy, that's perfection. And in the state of Ananda, bliss, you'll realize Krishna, because Krishna is supreme bliss, supreme Leela. Without having Ananda, Krishna's Leelas will be out of contrast. You'll not see the depth. But even in itself, that is okay, because you're somehow approaching. So, fix your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, eternally, without a doubt. Krishna in the Gita also says, those that worship this sacred conversation worship me by their intelligence, like you have. Right? So we can worship by working hard, and we can worship by studying the Shastra. And the Shastra is supremely important, actually. And nobody should think, oh, this is very intellectual, I can't understand. No. Because we are angsa, part and parcel of Krishna, then the absolute truth resonates within us, within the soul. And we grasp it intuitively, spiritually, by the mercy of Krishna, Guru, Vaishnava. So that is Paramahamsa, or the purified devotee, who's getting a little bhava. Oh, there's nothing more interesting than the Gita, the Bhagavatam, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't want a plasma TV, throw it in the road. Let's read the Bhagavatam every night. Maybe there's a few in India like that, right? So, then, second level, Krishna says, if you cannot, O winner of wealth, it's interesting, the different names Krishna gives. He says here, winner of wealth. If you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, because of no bhava, no love, that is the nature of love. If even in the mundane world, a man loves a woman, he doesn't want any other woman. He wants that one. A woman loves a man, she didn't want any other man, she wants that. The mother loves the baby, and all her maternal instincts go to that aspect. So love focuses the heart, soul and mind. But if you cannot fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the rules and regulations of bhakti yoga. In this way, what will be the result? Now this is the fruit of bhakti sadhana. This is sadhana, rules and regulations, right? Get up in the morning, chant your rounds, read regularly the shastra, serve guru, avoid sinful activity, right? Try to be pure in your habits. That's an Aryan. Aryan doesn't mean race, it means a quality of person who's fixed on the absolute truth and who's serving the absolute truth. So, the fruit of that sadhana will be that your natural inclination, Nityasiddha Krishna Prem Sadhakabanai Shravanadi Sudachitte, it will wake up. And you'll develop a desire to attain me. So if you're doing good sadhana, the result should be that you have a sense of vipralamba. I'm stuck in this material world, the cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. I'm living 100 or 200 years maximum, usually 50. No, I once read about a Chinese herbalist, and it's a true story because it's mentioned in the imperial records of the old Chinese dynasty. He lived to 257. Yes. He had about 90 children and 13 wives. So those herbs must be doing something. So he died recently, age 257. So yes, you can extend the life, but you're going to come to an end. So, therefore, use your life nicely. Don't eat too many herbs. But, take tulsi instead. Then you get the desire, oh Krishna, and that is the mood of sadhana taught by Lord Chaitanya. Vipralamba Seva Bhav. I haven't attained the Supreme Lord. I haven't attained the devotees of the Supreme Lord, but I want to. That's exemplified in the teachings of the Goswamis, Lord Chaitanya, of course, and all the big acharyas. And we see from literature like Govinda Lilamrita, Krishna Bhavanamrita, Sanat Kumar Samhita, that that is there even in the highest regions of the spiritual world. Vipralamba Sambodh. If you study these esoteric literature, you'll find that Radha and Krishna are separating and then they're meeting. And in separation, this develops their bhava even more. And then they meet and they enjoy Leela and then they have to separate. So this is like the energy, this is like the positive, negative, if you like, of the spiritual world. You will, if you understand the Leelas, you'll see that they all revolve around the axis of Vipralamba and Sambodh, separation and meeting. So the devotee, he cultivates this mood. He doesn't think, oh, now I've taken sannyas, now I'm this position, I'm that position, everyone is saying, no, he's thinking, I haven't attained my goal. Just like if you think, oh, I'm an accomplished musician, then you'll lose the desire to practice. But if you want to learn the piano or whatever, and you think, oh, I'm not good enough yet, then you will keep your practice. So this is also good for sadhana. Don't ever think that I've come to the end of understanding Krishna and sadhana. Then develop this desire, the desire to attain Krishna. That is the fruit of sadhana bhakti. And then number 10, verse before today, if you cannot follow the regulations of bhakti yoga, right? Say you can't follow regulated principles, you can't go to Mangalarti, you can't chant 16 rounds as Prabhupada instructed, if you can't follow regulated bhakti, then what does Krishna say? Then just try to work for me. That means come to the temple, do some service. Ask the temple commander, can I sweep the road out, can I sweep the temple? Can I clean the thing? Can I take some books from the go down and sell them? Just work for me. Then you're connecting to Krishna, and Krishna will take you as his own. He's not going to say, oh, he's not following sadhana bhakti. Let him sell books. I'm not interested. No, Krishna will take everything. Oh, look, because Krishna is the father, just like the mother and the father. If the child brings a little sketch with a pencil, oh, the mother thinks, the father thinks, wow, this is better than Leonardo da Vinci. I'm going to put it up on the wall. And the child thinks, he's encouraged, right? But the father does think it, because Leonardo da Vinci is not his son. This is his son. So this is better. Take your Mona Lisa. I want to put your picture on the wall, my dear son. Well, maybe, anyway, you get the point. So then just try to work, because by working for me you will come to the perfect stage. Now if you can't just work for Krishna, as Prabhupada explained in the purport, then look, that's today's verse. So you're coming down to different levels, and they are all the path of perfection. You understand? None of them, those people on these levels, we should think, oh, I'm following principles, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm going to Mangalarti and all the rest, and therefore I'm a great man. Pride comes before a fall. Right? It's better to be a humble street sweeper with a little barber, thinking, oh, I'm cleaning the dham, than to be a big puffed up sannyasi in some ashram thinking, I'm God. I'm going, next week I'm merging and I'm becoming God. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up the results of your work and try to be self-situated. Atmavan, controller, mindfulness is the Buddhist say, or Krishna consciousness. Then what does this mean? Well, this means, also in the Gita, Krishna says, yagya dana tapasa. Yagya, sacrifice, charity, penance, they should never be given up, because they purify even the great souls. If you see you're going downtown and you're spending 500 rupees in the shop, and one of those poor, humble ladies from Bhajan Ashram comes, give her 10 rupees. It'll purify. You'll feel happiness in your heart. You're purifying your money. 10 rupees, what's that? It's nothing. But for that poor lady, give her 100 rupees and she'll bless you. These are all great souls. They're wandering around in Vrindavan with an old sari. Do you think Krishna thinks that, oh, the old sari is no good? That's the materialist. The materialist thinks, especially in Kali Yuga, oh, the quality of a person is reflected in their bank account. No. Some of the richest people in the world are the most horrible, right? Can be a great distraction, wealth. Dan, what's that? Lord Chaitanya says, I don't want wealth. Yagya dana tapasa. What's that verse number 3? 4? Yeah, no, Sundarim. I don't want wealth. I don't want followers. I don't want sex life. But those things, so that means situated. I'm not lusting after those things, but if they come as, like I said in the Bhagavatam class, if they come naturally as a fruit of my karma, then I'm going to use them in Krishna's service. Yogya dana tapasya. So they're not an obstacle. A knife is not a dangerous weapon in the hand of a surgeon, if he knows what he's doing. But in the hands of a criminal is a dangerous thing. Sometimes it's said in these man-made ideas, money is the root of all evil. Well, it can be. But money in itself is not evil. What is money? Lakshmi Devi, she's the greatest devotee of Narayan. But she should be used in the service of Narayan. And what do the Ravanas, those who want to enjoy this world, what do they want to do? They want to enjoy Lakshmi. Ravana wanted Sita, but he couldn't even touch her. And Sita wouldn't even look him in the eye. So wealth will come to the devotee. Namabas, it will come, but it should be used in Krishna's service. Very important. Yagya dana tapasya. Yagya means sacrifice, using all your things in the service. Dhan, giving in charity. Tapasya, little austerity. Get up, chant your rounds, read something. Tapa means a voluntary control of the senses. Self-situated. In the 18th chapter, Arjuna asked Krishna, what is sannyas and what is tyag? Now if you understand these two things, you will understand sannyas and tyag. Don't think of sannyas ultimately as cloth. It is a state of consciousness, and therefore sometimes people situate themselves in that ashram. Right? Because you're supposed to follow strictly in the sannyas ashram. So, tyag. Krishna said, tyag means giving up. But what does it mean? It means to act without desire for the fruit, selfishly. It means you're doing your duties, your dharma, your varnashram, your duties as a man, but you're not saying, I want to enjoy the result for me. I'm doing it as dharma, my duty. This is the meaning of dharma. Dharma means to follow your natural propensities and but use them in a mood of service. This is one of the meanings of dharma. That's a whole big discussion. We can have that. But that is tyag. I perform my duties, but I'm not thinking I'm going to get the wealth. I'm self-situated. What results comes to me, let that be. It will come. And then I'll try and engage what I can in the service of the Lord. I'll maintain my family or whatever. And sannyas means, Krishna says, 18th chapter, what is sannyas? Is it bamboo and cloth? No. Sannyas, Krishna explains, is to act without material impetus. So that's very elevated, right? Generally, we're acting from material. This is my material dharma. This is my material desire. This is giving us an impetus to act. But sannyas means there's no material impetus in the activities. So what impetus? We must have impetus or stimulus towards activity. What is it? If it's not material, it's spiritual, see? Apandi. Spiritual impetus means I'm doing it out of bhava. I'm acting for the pleasure of Srimati Radharani. I'm acting for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. I'm acting for the pleasure of the devotees. I'm acting out of mercy for the fallen souls, giving them prashadam, letting them hear the holy name, distributing knowledge. I'm acting with that impetus. So that is self, atmavan. Atmavan. You're doing these things because you're situated in a developed spiritual consciousness. And that is your impetus to activity. So that is self-situated. I'm not lusting for the fruit, and I'm not being pushed by the desire for material fruit or material impetus. I'm acting out of spontaneous spirituality, which is the nature of the soul. So that's today's verse, and that's very good. We should cultivate that. And just by understanding these levels, then we can understand the path. Understand? After this, we'll discuss next week. But This is very important section, Bhagavad-Gita. Remember 2-3 weeks ago, we talked about the 5 verses at the end of the Brahma Samhita. Right? Everything is there. So this Gita, same things are repeated throughout Shastra. To act, and that is perfection. So also an important point on this is, if you want to act with spiritual impetus, that means to act to please the Guru. The order of the Guru becomes your spiritual impetus. Yasha prasada, Bhagavad prasada, yasha prasada, nakati kutopi. So it's not a matter of speculation, it's a matter of understanding. Yes, Mahajyena katasvapanta. I should act for the pleasure of my spiritual master. He is the manifest. Mahat Sevam Dwara Mahor Vimuktes. He is the gate of liberation. Let me act for the pleasure of the Guru, and he is the heart of Krishna. So when you please the qualified sadhu, you are pleasing the heart of Krishna. And is there any perfection beyond that? Right? So these are important points, and we must meditate upon them and inculcate them in our consciousness. There's also kleshas adhikarascha. Krishna in another Gita says, you have a right to perform your duty, Arjuna, but you don't have a right to the fruits. Because I am the doer. You thinking kartaham iti manyate, that you're the doer, but actually no. I'm giving the fruit of the activity. I'm the supreme controller. So don't grasp at the fruit. Let it come naturally as the fruit of your activity, as the grace of the Supreme Lord. Not thinking, oh, I've got lots of money because I'm smart and I've got a good job. No. It's coming ultimately, everything is grace of the Supreme Lord. Therefore devotees say, Krishna's grace. Right? So, thank you all very much for listening. Any question, points of discussion? Feel free to speak concisely. You're intelligent, you must have a question. Right. Okay then. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad-Gita, Sadhu Sangha, Vrindavan Dhamma Ki Jai.